Voice messages are used a lot here.
I spent the first 2 years in Chile sort of doing this.
The food in Chile is very bad.
Qué bueno, sí, está bueno el día para grabar hoy.
Hi everyone, this is Pancho for Dating Beyond Borders, and we're here in Santiago de Chile to ask foreigners about the biggest cultural shocks they've experienced while living here. Let's hear what they have to say. So what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Aleška and I'm originally from Czech Republic.
My name is Nortje and I'm from the Netherlands.
My name is Guillermo and I'm from Portugal.
Hey, my name's Annie and I am from the United States.
And my name's Damien and I'm from the UK.
How long have you lived in Chile?
So far 1 year.
I came last year for 10 months and then came back now.
I arrived in 2008, so what is that, like 15 years?
I was traveling by myself and looking for a place to live outside of the United States. I really liked speaking Spanish, and as soon as I got to Santiago, I felt at home.
So I had a baby with my Chilean girlfriend in the UK in 2004 and came here in 2005 to be a part of her life.
What were your expectations of Chilean culture when you first came here? And did Chile live up to those expectations?
I had absolutely no idea what to expect when I arrived to Chile. It was a mega culture shock.
I honestly didn't have that many expectations because I didn't really know about Chile. In the United States, Argentina is much more known as a place, and Peru, just for like a place to visit for tourism. Chile, I knew it was like a long, skinny country at the end of the globe that had lots of mountains and ocean, and it's super similar to like California, where I grew up.
Europeans, they think only of like favelas and stuff of Latin America. And then I actually came here to Chile, and the infrastructure is amazing. Way better than in Portugal. So like, for example, I have my bike, like the bike lanes here go all around the city. There's a lot of events to do. And in my opinion, I don't think the crime is too bad.
I have the thought that Chile is like Latin America light, in the same way that Hong Kong is like Asia light. It's more of a welcoming and less stereotypical place compared to maybe other parts of Latin America. I think the safety thing is a big issue, and the fact that the country is stable and the way that people interact with you as well, because you have the identity of a foreigner, this is important. I remember, for example, when I was in Colombia or in Brazil, people are like, looking at you and really sizing you up. And here, I don't have that as much, or if at all.
What would you say are some of these cultural shocks that you felt upon first arriving here?
Voice messages are used a lot here. If I want to be in touch with someone, I'm just used to text them. And here I have some friends and I text them and they always answer by the voice message.
I think because I came from Europe and I also lived in the UK for quite a bit, the culture shock mainly is how behind Santiago really was when I arrived. So I felt like I was going backwards in time.
There wasn't really a big culture shock, but I was very disappointed with the food. The food in Chile is very bad. I'm passionate about Venezuelan food, Colombian food, Brazilian food. They're all super great. But the Chilean food, besides like cazuela, it's not the greatest. It's very like junk food.
I think Chile is very limited with cheese offer for me. I know it's ridiculous, but yeah, I'm used to eat a lot of cheese.
There's some really good stuff, but they're really lacking in the cheese department. And I'm a cheeseaholic, and the cheese here sucks.
That has been said by more than one person. Do you agree?
Yeah, because if you like sandwiches and burgers like I do, Chile does have some of the best fast food on the planet. But that's pretty much where it's at.
The bar culture is completely different here. Like when you go to a bar, people don't talk to you. You go to a bar, sit at a table, you're with your friends, and you don't talk to strangers. Whereas like in New York City or in London, you go to a bar as a woman and you can sit by yourself and then just like start shooting the shit with people.
Would you say it's easy or hard to make friends?
In regards to Chileans, yeah, I feel like they're very adventurous. They can be a bit weird when you compare to like Venezuelans and Colombians. They're like more easygoing, I would say.
Is that what you mean with weird? Like a little more personality?
Yeah. Which is not bad. I feel like they have more personalities here in Chile. Like different interests. Like there's a big passion with East Asia here in Chile. Like people love like Korean stuff and Japanese stuff. Which is funny because like we're very far away, it's like across the Pacific, but people here are very passionate about like anime and that kind of stuff. In terms of outdoor activities, it's quite easy like to make friends and to go do those set activities.
In Britain, it was pubs, drinking, very sort of intense drinking in the evening, which is I thought of as normal. And then the casual sort of violence that goes on in the UK when, they have a saying over there, pint and a fight's a great British night. So when I came to Chile, it was mind-blowing how healthy the relationship with alcohol is here compared to like some Anglo cultures, for the very simple reason, one word, asado. what would happen is that you get invited to a barbecue at a friend's house. You'd arrive at, let's say, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You'd spend the whole day drinking. You want to take a break, you go sit on the couch. There's kids around, so no one's being too, there's no sort of fights breaking out and stuff like that. And there's food.
Chilean Spanish has a fame of being a little hard to understand. Did you experience any of this?
Absolutely. I grew up in California, and so I'd been around Mexican Spanish. And then I went to Argentina for a couple months before I came to Chile, and I'd lived in Italy, so I understood Argentinian Spanish really easily. And then I got over the mountain here. I came in from Mendoza down the mountains and arrived in Santiago, and I was like, what the hell are people saying? It was really difficult. But I mean, it's interesting and fun. I like the differences. And once you learn the dialect of Chilean, after you've been here for a while, you can really get what people are saying, and it's hilarious. Chileans are hilarious.
I don't think so. I think Spanish from Spain, like Catalunya, like that is much harder. Much harder. In the beginning, people were saying, Spanish, because of the slangs. Like you guys have a lot of slangs and a lot of just words here. But once you learn the word, I don't think the accent is hard to understand.
It's a real stereotype that we talk too fast.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I met people from Spain, and I was talking with them in Spanish, and they were like, I don't even know what kind of Spanish are you guys talking about.
Can we show everyone what it sounds like to have a conversation in Chilean Spanish?
Yeah, sure.
Hola, ¿cómo estáis?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Bien acá grabando la feria en la plaza, haciendo entrevistas.
Qué bueno, sí, está bueno el día para grabar hoy, el clima igual acompaña. Lo que sí, la única lata es que se oscurece temprano.
So if you got any of that, please let us know.
As I said, I didn't speak Spanish when I arrived. I had 2 years of difficulty, humiliation, let's say. You have a certain intellectual level, but when you have to articulate your thoughts in a second language, which you're just acquiring, essentially you're stupid because you have to ask for repetition, you don't understand things. If there's a group of people talking, you're lost. So I spent the first 2 years in Chile sort of doing this. Yep. Very cool. I made my first phone call successfully after 2 years in Chile, to order a pizza. I remember that very clearly. But you know what's really cool, Pancho, is that now Chilean Spanish is my Spanish. So when I interact with people from, Argentina or from Spain and things or especially from Spain or Mexico, they're like, what the hell? Because I have my Spanish is Chilean with a British accent as well.
What would you say is your favorite thing about Chile and the one thing that you maybe still cannot get used to?
The one I don't like, it's the winter here, because there are no heatings in the houses. So I'm basically cold all the time.
Is there one thing you feel like you still cannot get used to?
Yeah, when you agree to something and you have to reconfirm, always. You can never go with the first yes. Yeah, that's a very big struggle.
I really liked that I could get along with women. Chilean women were really inviting to me, and I made some really awesome girlfriends. And that's important to me because in some cultures, some women aren't so nice to foreign ladies. I had experiences with Italian women in the past that they didn't want to be my friends at all because Italian men wanted to have sex with the foreign woman and the women didn't. I don't know. Yeah, it was an issue.
What would you say is the best part about living in Chile?
I could say the different landscapes we had. I mean, it's really like a country you can do a lot of outdoor activities.
So how has living in Chile changed you as a person?
I think I can very honestly say that coming from the Netherlands, I was extremely square-minded, not flexible, and I think what Chile has taught me is to become more flexible, to look at the gray areas, and to adapt way faster than I would have done in Europe. And I think that's the biggest learning curve I've had so far.